Welcome, chatter. Hello, hello, hello. It's been a while. Been almost a week since I streamed. Slightly intentional, slightly not intentional. I reset some stuff. Sweet. So what's going on is we have the TLMC qualifier today. Few matches got going. There wasn't anything super exciting. I didn't jump in anything straight away. I'm kind of feeling like maybe we wait for one of the round of 8s and we just start casting qualifying matches straight up. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Cast some qualifying matches and see what happens. Pretty reasonable to me. Yeah, so we'll just wait for some of those to pop up. We will probably hold at least 1 or 2 and get some extra games cast we're not just going to do, because otherwise we're just going to do 1 best of 3 and the tournament's going to be done. So we'll probably do a bunch of the qualifying matches 1 by 1 or something along those lines. It's probably our plan of action. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so yeah, it's obviously new maps and stuff today as well, which is fun. We could have a little peek at the maps while we wait for some games to come around, just zoom through them, have a little bit of a pre-look, so let's do that. It's probably the best idea. A little bit of time. Yo, ATZ33, thanks so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Also had tagged on the 57-month resub. 57 is a semi-prime, 3 times 19. But first in this series of math monologues, actual math, i.e. not number facts, the split Lie algebra E7.5 has a 57-dimensional Heisenberg algebra as its nilradical, and the smallest possible homogeneous space for E8 is also 57-dimensional. It is also Grothendieck prime, as a legendary mathematician once accidentally named it a prime number. This mistake was also done by Herman Weyl in a published article. I'm gonna start calling non-primes primes as well. And yo, just SC2, thank you for the 62-month resub. Yeah, I still have a little bit of a cough and stuff, guys, so I'm still a bit sick. Just part of the reason why I've not been rushing back to streaming. Still not felt 100% lately. But these are our maps. We'll just scroll through them. Diffusion by Avex. There's actually a remake of Daybreak, but I think this one's gonna be very interesting to see a bit of. Tokamak by Volumen. Apparently a wide macro map. Maganatha, just so we can have the argument of Maganatha, Meganatha, and all the other ways you can potentially stay this map after we had Giganatha in the map pool a while ago. I don't think it's really related to Giganatha, it's just named the same thing, minus a J plus an M. We've got Steam City by Chronozeo. Standard ramp map with a low ground linear thirds, and the map has a lot of debris. It creates an I love how some people are like, these are my map features, and they write an essay, and then good old Chrono is like, it's pretty standard, and there's some debris. Nice. That's the sort of map summary that I like to read. Last Fantasy is a 3-player map. Which will be fun. Usually the issue with 3-player maps is there's rotational biases, so we'll see how that map handles it. We'll see if that's gonna remain being a problem or not. I'm trying to think about it, but probably will be. It's very hard not to have that on 3-player maps. Persephone. Pretty long map, which can be shortened. I think those are acceleration zones down the far right side of the map as well. Very cool. Sandworm. Sets of dragon's teeth across the center of this desert are Terran fortifications that are used to impede tanks and large units. I love it. While allowing small infantry units to pass freely. Destroying the large rocks adjacent to them can free up large unit movement. That's kind of cool. Well, it allows, you know, early in the game you can kind of send whatever across. We can send early game units across, but we can't send bigger units across as easily. Cool way to mix it up. Pylon. High risk, high reward, rich gas base doubles as a mineral wall, leaving it exposed and open after mining out. Double light bridges in the center are not buildable or burrowable. Several open spaces contrast several tighter spots for a variety of engagement types. Killer's Mile by Killer Smile. Despite its size, the path to the opponent's base is very direct. I thought this map looked pretty cool, actually. It'd be fun to see how that one plays out. Gorgeous, also by Killer Smile. I think I need to see this one in game. Be fun to see. Salegionella by Avex once again. An in-base natural instant hatred by many. It does have multiple entrances though. Opened by the death of infested rocks at 8 minutes. That could be fun. Antimatter, aka the Lightning Map, or the Harry Potter map. If Harry Potter were a StarCraft team map, this may be the one. I like the look of this. I think that's gonna look cool in game, the color scheme. Incorporeal, my monitor. Very pretty pink map. You know, sometimes you gotta try and talk about what the maps look like, and then other times you just gotta talk about what the maps like, you know, they look like in terms of like their color scheme. I do this all the time. The grid also looks pretty cool. I think it'll be fun to see how this plays out. We've seen a lot of these maps which has like this contested gold based on the 12 o'clock and it's close by air, etc. This is actually kind of interesting. It has 5 levels consistently going down. So this is, are these all downward ramps? That's so funny because if it is, to me, this looks like highest ground, mid ground, low ground, mid ground, low ground, right? But that's just because that's how I used to StarCraft team maps looking. If this is actually highest, lower, 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 that's actually kind of interesting. We'll see how that looks in game as well when we get to see the grid. Spirit Crusher. Looks cool by Timmy. Kill Switch is the last. 16 base rush/stand map with unique layout. Lots of backdoor entrances and rocks to be killed and stuff like that. I think it'll be quite interesting to see. So those are our maps, guys. Just thought we'd talk through the maps while we wait for some games. Like I say, I'm still a little bit sick. My cough has been pretty bad lately. Looks like Skillous and Nicorakt are about ready to play, so let's hop on over there. We can jump into their qualifying best of 3. Nicorakt 2-0 Goblin. Nice. Alright, let's jump into Skillous Nicorakt and cast this one, guys. As we get ready for some best of 3 TVP action. And we'll get this underway. All right. Let's cast some StarCraft to you guys. Yes, sorry, I'm still a bit coughing. I don't know why today my cough's actually a little bit worse again. Alright, so what's really fun is for the qualifying matches, or just for these matches in general, what we've done is that we've got a bit of a different format for map picks this time, which is that loser gets to pick the map. But the first map is predetermined. The first map is predetermined and then loser map pick, which is really cool for us because now we get to see all of the round of 8 maps. And the round of 8, the first map each time is Last Fantasy, which is a 3-player map, which I think is one of the ones which is very interesting. Oh my god, that base is huge, no? But the base is huge. Of course, it's all brought to you by Monster Energy. Shout out to Monster Energy. Why is my Monster Energy logo not on the corner? I literally turned this on like a day ago. Bruh. It's just disappeared. Why does it always disappear? Hang on. Sorry, guys. There we go. I swear my stream just deletes things randomly. Alright, some TVP action on this 3-player map. As he gets set up to rumble and into some gaming. So Nicorrect just 2-0 Goblin. Skillous had a favorable matchup, so no surprise to see him here. And get into this qualifying best of 3 and see what goes down and what happens as we get this the way. What's up, Kybert? Thank you so much for the 50-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Good to see you. And yeah, top 4 qualified today, guys, so which means that this is already a qualifying best of 3. We do usually try and prioritize some invites from the qualifiers for players that didn't make it, but this is only going to be a 16-player event. As such, there'll be maybe not as many invites from the qualifiers, but it's also a fairly generous qualifier where top 4 qualify anyway. So yeah, there'll be a lot of invites from outside the qualifier because there's obviously a lot of people that we want to invite and so on. So we're coming around that right side. CC gonna come up. Reapers, Hellion just gonna gather together. It's gonna be all 3 Reapers and the 2 Hellions. So this is going to be interesting, working kind of, you know, right side to the bottom side. I mean, to me, this is a position that favors Skillous, because he can attack into his opponent's main base kind of easy. Like, natural to natural is the same distance, but Skillous's main base doesn't naturally have units running past it if units are pushing toward the natural. Whereas Nicorrac's main base does have, you know, units running past. I mean, this looks like a blink map if you've ever seen one as well, right? Let's watch this little trade at the front as we see Reaper going down. The Adept will shade and get another Reaper. Can we get the Hellion? We can't, but we saved the Adept. Yeah, this looks like a blink map as well, right? Blink into the main base. You can blink down. There's no ramp on the natural as well, so you can very easily poke the front. But yeah, this is the issue with 3-player maps, where the rotational symmetry aspect of it definitely has some impacts. Blink coming up, Prism on the way from the robotics facility. We get that started up here. A few SCVs will pull in and repair some Hellions. Gonna get those back up into play already. Get that all moving. Stalker step up, the Reaper gets pushed away, tank. Gonna try and reposition. He's gonna set up behind the factory there. Here are our Stalkers that can blink in. The time position is good. The Stalker's still gonna be able to get around the edge. It's quite deep. I guess this is a nice part. It's like it's quite difficult to get to the main mineral line with these Stalkers. something I've been thinking about a lot, because you know those Blink Stalkers, when they jump into the prism, there's 4 of them. So often they just unload on the corner and they can hit the mineral line, then jump up and back away. Here I feel as though you can keep the tank in a very good position to defend over here, and also defend the mineral line. The Stalkers have to commit a lot to reach anything. I actually kind of like the main base mineral line for that. Stalkers are just so freaking effective. I actually think we're at the stage of StarCraft 2 where we might have to start taking more precautions in map making to kind of stop Stalkers, and that like 4-Stalker harass squad just being so effective. I don't know how much maps can do about it, but I do feel like this map may be difficult to make it happen on. I suppose we'll see. Observe it. Flying overhead is going to keep an eye on this army, which is stepping on through. I'm actually going to take a few shots here. The Skillous nearly loses that as Nicorek gets pushing. Nicorek loves his big, heavy early game pushes. A couple of Stalkers get forced back again. Acceleration zones are kind of interesting because you can accelerate into position on the ramps and so on. Skillous can take a little bit of a beating already as Nicorek pushes up this ramp. I'm just going to keep on pushing through. A couple of Stalkers taking damage. Zelda can charge forward as well. Zelda's going to get taken out immediately. Just going to see a few more of those Zeldas going down as well. Tank's in good positions, and Skillous not going to have enough to hold this off. He's going to get overrun here on Last Fantasy as his third base goes down, and Nicorek can continue to push forward from here. This is such a quick attack onto the third base. Like, you come out of your natural, you walk down a ramp, and you just accelerate onto the third. It's kind of crazy. It feels very quick, at least. It's actually a pretty big map. Skillous going to try and come with another round of Zealots. This bio army is heavily stimmed up. If there's a way for success, it would be because this bio army is hurting so much, but that ain't going to save the Nexus on the natural. And Skillous going to start off down a game. And Nicorek will go up by 1. Two more Zealots going to show up on the side. Siege tanks are going to be there. Zealots continue to get smashed by the bio tank force. Obviously, at this point, you're at the base. Skillous will say GG as Nicorek takes game 1 of this best of 3. Alright, so we're going to be able to get that grabbed as we'll head into game number 2 as soon as the players pick a map. So it'll be Skillous' map pick, which is going to lose his map pick today. I think it's fun, mixed up a little bit. Do things a little differently. How we have been doing them. I don't know whether I don't know whether I don't know whether losing map pick would be good for the main event, actually. Thinking if it might be worthwhile or not, but I'm not sure. Yo, Grandma, thank you so much for the 44-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Do. Skillous might going to be our next map. Picked by Skillous. Yeah, Grumbled, thank you so much for the 44 months. Marek, thank you so much for the 8 months. Thanks to the resubs, guys. I appreciate I've not streamed a lot this last week. Been caught up. I mean, to be fair, when I streamed on Monday and then I was away Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday anyway. it was the last couple of days where Friday I just didn't really have anything to stream and I still wasn't feeling 100%. And Saturday, yesterday we actually went to play a Pokemon tournament. Which isn't a great reason to not stream, but again, didn't really have anything to stream. Like, it's just been a weird week. Coming out of WardiTV February. And building into WardiTV's Team Liquid Map Contest tournament. Just a little bit of a slow week is all. That's all good. So we kick off into game 2 of this best of 3 qualifying map now for Nicorect. He's up a game, taking on Skillous. On the other side, Nicorect is the Red Terran. Killer's Mile. I like the name of this map for the fact that, you know, it's just a play on the map maker's name. It works. Great way to get your name in StarCraft. I love it. Alright, so what are we working with here? I like it. Honestly, I just like it already. The main is pretty well protected. I mean, this is a little bit kind of, I think a lot of Blink right now, but it's a fairly safe natural, I suppose. Very cramped. Obviously, you could get attacked kind of badly by, like, sieges down here, I suppose. I think of Blink so much nowadays. You attack in here, there's no ramp on the natural. If you're coming from this position, you can go over here. I actually think it's fine because if you position like a tank here, you cover the natural and you cover the Blink in. And the tank's not super exposed while doing it. It's not like you have to put the tank here to do that. So I actually think that's a pretty big deal. You get a forward base here you can take as well. You can work your way down to the low ground. I like the choice there. Seems pretty neat. Some collapsible towers in the top left and bottom right as well. And if you expand forward, you really do shorten the map. There's a couple of narrow bridges in the center. That's going to be a lovely position for Terrans to try and take control of and to keep a hold of in general. So we'll keep a check on that. We'll get to see more games on it. The Reaper pops out. Reactor starts on the barracks. Factory coming through and online. Reaper steps up, and you can see the sentry. Gonna nibble at that Reaper. Because now we're gonna turn around and go for the probe. Gonna get the probe as well, so it's gonna be a nice grab. Reaper gets out of there, so get a little bit of scouting in. A little bit of damage done. For our early few moments. And someone just grabs a map and says tank 5 times. I mean, I have to say, honestly, I don't think of maps in terms of Zerg because I've never been as much of a Zerg player, and when I play Zerg, I just cheese and stuff. It's very easy. So I struggle. I feel like Zerg usually maps size, well, maps for Zerg is like just size, or maybe amount of pathways and so on, chokiness. So when we first look at maps, I always think of like, how to deal with Blink, how do Terran pushes go. Usually how to like positional units like tanks interact with it, right? Pretty much every map is a Terran map at first glance, because pretty much every map has positions where you're like, whoa, what if we put a tank here? Whoa, what if we put a tank there? So you're not wrong. Not incorrect. Oh, you have the Stargate opening this game from Skillous, who is on a fake Oracle across the map, cycling the Marines, get rid of that. The real Oracle is making its way over. Oracle into that Twilight Council. As we get a Viking coming up, a Siege Tank is underway as well, so that production coming through here from Nicorect. We'll see if he wants to get aggressive and push again, because we know that's the kind of thing that in general Nicorect just likes to do anyway. Oracle arrives into this main mineral line here, and a couple of SCVs already beginning to drop. Five workers going down, but at the same time we're pushing on the other side. The tank gonna get there. Good force field. tank. Live with a few extra moments. Battery out of energy right now. We do have Sentry, Guardian, Shielding helping a little bit. We continue to push forward. Probes going to have to pull. Can we make up for the 8 SCVs lost to the Oracle? We cannot. 3 probes go down. 8 SCVs on the other side. Incorrect. Come out of this one hurting a little bit then. As our medevac bolts back through the center. The Phoenix on the way up. The charge in production. Marines, medevac, Viking still gathering for now. So continue down to the bottom left. I don't think this is enough at all. Incorrect. I think he's gone a little bit too soon, but I understand he took a lot of damage and maybe just feels like he has to try and push to do something, but this is a good cleanup, an easy cleanup from Skillous. And hence he will take this across the map as well. It's Oracle Phoenix all moving across to the top. It's the natural. Stalker's taking a little bit of a hit. The Oracle taking some damage too. A couple of SCVs going down. The Vikings will get there. The Oracle will fall. The Zealots on top of the siege tank. They are going to get it in the end, and that's going to be GG. We are going to go to game 3. A blink and charge in 5 minutes? No, he didn't go blink. He just went charge. Because he opened Stargate straight into the charge was the choice that he made. Choice that was made. Alright guys, we're gonna go into game 3 here as soon as Nicorak picks his map. It's gonna be Diffusion. Just waiting for Skills to ready up. I'm gonna go into this third game, guys. Get this underway, get this started. See what we can do. Alright, let's go. Into game 3. Nicorak, our red Terran player. Skillous, our blue Protoss. Pick this off. Get this up and rolling. So a couple of refineries, a couple of assimilators coming up. So Diffusion, with some purple crystals and some purple bits floating about. Also has a watchtower in the center. This map feels big. A base choice, some rocks. That looks cool. Let's see what happens. We'll see the Zelnog towers bottom right and top left as well. So, I think they're breakable though, right? That's a collapsible rock, so you can kill this. So if you kill the rocks, you can remove the tower from the game, I believe. Which is actually kind of interesting. So you can start the game with early vision, but later in the game, you're not likely to have vision as freely over here. It's actually a very cool idea, right? Like being able to remove the corner towers so that, like I say, vision early is not as difficult to come by, but vision later in the game is much more difficult to come by. Stuff like that over the last 2-3 years of TLMCs has definitely been some of my favorite stuff personally. Maybe moves through, probes take some damage. Stalker coming about. Moves about. Hellions on the way. Let's see what Nikrak can do. Continues into his early game units. Maybe heading down to the bottom left. The Hellions coming across as well. Boss fields do not actually stop the Reapers from getting through. Hellions are going to be there as the post wall forward. We get the Sentry and we only lose a Reaper. It's a pretty good initial trade. I thought Nikrak might get a few probes as they pulled forward, but the Hellions can get through the force fields like the Reapers could. The Hellions head across. The Reapers are going to come through as well. It goes down, Stalker gonna get blasted. The charge coming through on the Twilight Council, Liberator, Marines. Coming up as well, gonna get the Siege Tank continuing into play. The Oracle of Skillous coming up the right hand side, gonna head into the natural. Revelation goes down, the Marines are gonna get hit. SCVs mine away as our Hellions going to drop in. A few of these probes going down already. Well, probes are going down. It's going to be seen the Phoenix going to get there. Medivac will fall. The Oracle coming over. I mean, 15 probes is pretty huge in the end, and Nikrak definitely putting himself into a lead here. The Phoenix and the Viking will trade out. Let's stamina +1 continuing through here. Zealots and the +1 attack upgrade coming up as well. So continuing with all of this as our Stalkers move up in toward the main base. The third base set up across the board already, and obviously Skillous trying to recover from that damage taken. one more probe as the Zealots will just charge through and play cleanup. Zealots gather about, probe's going to sit on the watchtower. And you have our Temple Archives, the Robo Facility coming up as well. So Skillous is going to get into all of the tech that he wants, but this is going to be the power push from Nicorakt as he sets up out the front. He's going to have a third base, but I'm kind of surprised if he doesn't go and try to take advantage of the damage he did early in this game. Here's the push, moving across, Nicorakt coming, stepping across and through. Scantum's down, the Zealots stalk the sentry, moving back downward still. Let's get siege. This is not a powerful army from Skillous. This is an army that depends on size and Zealots overwhelming, but there's not really that many Zealots. Honestly, the Archon going to take a lot of free damage initially too. Zealots got to be careful, charging forward, and now some of them have used their charge and they backed away. Woodermines are going to do great damage. The force fields hurt Skillous here. He'll start to blast them open as I actually think we clicked on the Archon there. We moved commanded a little bit. We're going to have to lift and leave in the end, but Nicorakt did a decent job of trading, I still feel like. Was not rallying units across the map. A little flank from this pylon was nice as well from Skillous. Getting a flank in allowed him to get on top of those tanks and to clean this up a little more easily. It meant the Zealots were not all just coming from that force field direction, which was fast becoming a problem. And now as Skillous gets to Storm, this game should become a little bit easier for him. So I imagine that will help a little bit too. Yo, Booyah for all. Thank you so much, by the way. 25 months resub. So much is up, IO. We're in position to cancel the fourth, and we get the cancel. First Storm is very good, but we dive through, get the Prism, we get the High Templar. There's one more High Templar there. We're going to lose some units in this one. I don't hate it though, right? Resetting a couple of High Templar. The final Storm obviously was the one that really got any kills as well. So he could have gone out of there without actually losing too much initially. Firewall still through, a couple of Zealots go down. The Stalker's forced to blink, the Immortal. Want to get jumped on as well. That will fall. Panel on the high ground goes down. The gateway gets depowered. We continue to stim through. Here come the Zealots. Oh, nice storm onto the Marauders. Wooden mines all get burrowed up. The Zealots are going to get blown up already. 19 SCVs went down during this, by the way. Skillous hits a good counterattack. As Nicorakt cancels this base again, but there's actually a base on the 6 o'clock he doesn't know about yet. Stalkers will chase, Bio gets pushed away. Medevac force continues to move about. We're going to split a little. As Nicorakt has had momentum in this game. He's actually going to catch these Zealots coming across here. Or is he? Wow. Skillous hides them in a corner. Nicorakt walked by. Right now, Skillous gets so much map vision off these towers. But not hate it if Nicorakt, like I say, went through the effort of knocking those rocks down and getting rid of that vision. It's funny though, because in a way you're kind of like, well, I can use that myself if I put units here, right? So which way around you want it to be as we scan ahead. And this base operational right here. These two medevacs load up, but they are low HP. At least one of them is very low, and it's going to fly across a bunch of units. Skillous is going to get both full medevacs. No! I don't know how that other one got away. The Zealots show up and they get 8 SCVs before Nickrat can start dealing with it. We are going to stim in over here. This is a properly tech Protoss army with Storms, Colossus, pretty much everything you'd want. But is it enough Protoss? He didn't have the protection there necessary. We're going to lose that Archon. A couple of Vikings will chase for at least one of the Colossus kills. Probes going down. Yeah, I think we should prioritize getting some of the probes as well. Make sure they can't mine elsewhere, because this is essentially the 5th base right now. Medevac goes down to you once again. Zealots showing up on the 3rd base. Yeah, I think probes should have been a priority there, because there's this base here which is unsaturated, so killing probes would have stopped them from just transferring bases, essentially, which is what's happened in the end. Let's take quite a lot of shots. Water mines going off. We do. I was going to say we did a good job of unburring the mines and potentially getting them away to be saved, but then we just let them die anyway, which is, I think, a little bit of a shame. There's a couple of Vikings looking for the Prism. We actually got rid of the energy on the High Templar, so there's no Storm available right now. One Colossus, the only splash. Can the Marauders get on top of that Colossus? It will. A few Zealots that are here are not currently getting the job done. A few more Zealots warping in. We're going to lose the Archon. Stalkers have to step back and now kite away from the Zealots. New Colossus showing up. Zealot from behind starting to lose the Ghost here as well. Nikarak's reinforcements finally starting to show up. A new Prism arrives. We're going to get rid of that immediately. The 2 Vikings are essential right now to help with the Colossus. All of these medevacs super low on health and energy. There's not a lot of healing available. But do we just have the power to get through? We got to get rid of the Colossus. We cannot eat the splash damage on this herd bio army that cannot heal. Splash is turning out to do a lot right now. The Vikings are going to go chase that Colossus down. We should be able to kill it. There's no battery there, right? No, the Vikings land! What are we doing? Oh my goodness. He landed the Vikings. Let the Colossus live. We're going to start killing some probes. Like I say, this bio army is just out of HP. It can't even really stim that much more. I can't believe we let this Colossus live. I mean, now we're going to have 2 Colossus. That amount of splash is so much better off for you. So much better off. Down the bottom left. Gonna be seeing a little bit of a stim through. Obviously, we got a chance to get another High Templar up now and some Storms available. That will help a lot. There's not a lot of Zealots, though. I guess there's those Colossus. I can't believe that one in the back gets to live and do so much. And Skillous is going to turn this around. Nikaract didn't quite have enough in the end. SCV's getting mass murdered. Just going to be seeing the rest of the bio pulling back. The Vikings Ghosts coming back across as well. And drop another scan on down. Nikaract's just dropping in supply too much right here. Skillous going to survive. He's going to see it through to the other side. I think one of the big things was just that Nikaract ended up on so few medevacs that could actually heal anymore. They ended up in so much trouble. If he had a little bit more healing, I think he would have been in a pretty... well, honestly, a very good spot, to be honest, but... Prism coming up. Couple of Zealots going down. The next gun drop into play is going to get a bio down to the bottom right. Bio's going to fight, but Zealot's already going down. The Prism is going to fall as well. Nick going to say GG well played, as just doesn't quite have enough in him. Like I say, I felt like you had opportunities on this map, but didn't quite get there in the end. GG's. Next match. Looks like these guys actually vetoed. That's fine. Whatever. It's all good with me. If they seem to be fine with it, we'll go with it. So, into our next qualifying match here, guys. QUALIFIER versus jimy. Jimy's been playing very well lately. Let's see what we get. Alright, GG, good luck, have fun as we dive into Pylon for this game here. Brought to you by Monster Energy in the TLMC. Get this underway as we have here top left, jimy bottom right on Pylon. Take a little look around the map, which has watchtowers available on the edges. Central area bridged, so you're a little bit choked coming across it. Cracks in the gateway coming through early on. We have a little cheeky probe over here from jimy just moving about. We'll see if he gets into something particularly interesting here. See what he wants to do. Little probe just going to patrol back and forth. The orbital command coming up. Factory coming through. Got that depot finished up. Gateway and the cyber core coming through as well. Going to boost that adept up, and again, Robo Facility and Twilight Council coming on in. Ourselves this Twilight Council. We'll see. Potential to be super cheeky and cheesy. Like I said, jimy's been playing well lately, but PvT is the matchup he self-admittedly kind of struggles the most in as well. That's definitely been the case as Dark Shrine drops down, so I can understand him being a little bit aggressive with his choices right now. Now, QUALIFIER is playing an opening here, which is greedy, because he hasn't scouted at all, so he doesn't even know that this is a one base at the moment. And if this Reaper Hellion doesn't go across the map, he will never know. Now, of course, it should go across the map. 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions is a scary combination of units, but it's going to be a very late scout for him. Reapers and the Hellions will gather, and that's a good wall off here. They've still not gone to the front. This is going to be the first time they see no expansion. Right there. So now QUALIFIER's like, oh, what the bleep is happening? Not really the pylon. Obviously, there is a second orbital coming up. Scan's going to be essential. We start up the bunker on the natural as well. There's one already here, though, and the DTs are going to split. Right now, only one scan available because there's only one orbital. Actually going to start going after the Marines as well, so there's not going to be damage output to kill these DTs. Unfortunately, the Widow Mine is able to connect, and that's a big deal. Now this DT has to get out of scan range, because it very nearly went down. New scan available on the natural. Prism's still there to warp in another DT as the second scan comes through. Next DT warps in. Jimy still has work to do here for sure, but now we're going to be detectionless for a little while. We are going to find the Prism with the Viking, but as another DT comes in, like I say, no detection available for the moment, and we are able to go for this. He's going to start going after the units still, so really trying to get rid of unit production and some SCVs as well. Chasing down that siege tank. We are 13 energy away from a scan. That's only going to be one scan. There's obviously going to be an issue there as well, as this DT does get the tank as well. Nice pick off. I like it. Split the DTs up, leave one in the main, leave one on the natural. Force the scans, so obviously you have to definitely 100% go in different positions here. Still getting rid of units as well. Kira's having an absolute issue with this DT play. Next scan is already available though, so this DT, oh, gonna recall. But the Raven's out as well. Actually, great choice to recall, as the second Prism is now in trouble as well. Got found by the Viking. Two DTs at the front get some grabs before they back away as well. And Jimy gets a lot done in the end. Very well done. Thank you, by the way, Lex470 for the 32-month free sub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Hellions get through to the natural. Couple of those probes will begin to drop. DT shows up, gonna get one Hellion. Now gonna go after the Reaper, gets that as well. Depth show up, obviously there's Hellion getting a full scout around. Jimy leads by about 7 workers currently. Step through a little bit. What's up, Subsolar? Thank you for the tier 2 resub, for the 47-month resub. Tier 2 for the 47 months, goddammit. Sorry guys, my voice deaded. Welcome to the Stalkers coming across the map, so they're just going to come moving through. Probes going down. That's army of Jimy pulling back down to that bottom right side as well. Marine, Viking, Raven. Moving about 2. I'm just going to be seeing this Impact Combat Shield, extra Marines coming up, and armor upgrade mixed in there. This army of Jimy continues to move through the middle of the map still. I'm just going to hang around again. Marauder Medivac continues to come about as well. I mean, this is going alright for Jimy, right? We got third base up. Kira's playing extremely defensively back over here. Jimy going to get some time to develop his tech. His proxied structures have not been found yet, so you can at the very least get, you know, blink up and charge up off of the Twilight Council. Star plus to your armor as well. Obviously, in general, the game is settling down a little right now. Prism moves up the top. Again to the back of the natural here, unload a couple of Zealots off, and then Jimy, just as Q is moving across the map, going to come straight in for some aggression. This is only a 2-base Terran right now, third is building. That's a nice anti-armor missile, really stops Jimy from being able to fight. He puts a lot of warp ins across the map, so it's important that he sees success here, because if he doesn't succeed in this main and natural, across the other side, you can already see he's struggling using force fields to buy himself some extra time. Just finished a blink, doesn't have any stalkers, and doesn't really have the money for them. So far, 7 SCVs go down. The Zealots pull back into the main base. The entire main not mining. It's obviously a bonus. Wooden Mine's also doing well. The Archon's trying to lead the charge forward here. I don't think Jimy has enough to survive it. Jank's still doing a lot. We actually do have a DT showing up, though, and that's helping. And the Archon's actually going to hold their ground a little bit, too. The Zealots and the DTs across the map are still going. We're going to lose the Prism. That's going to be the end of its success, but the line goes off on the DTs. Zealots hit the orbital command one more time. Well, honestly, not the worst it could have been for Jimy. I actually think he comes out in an okay spot. A couple of medevacs here. Going to go and try and deny some of the structures. Bottom left, there's an Immortal here, funnily enough. Immortal is probably not going to be able to protect us. We lose the pylon power and the Robo, so the Prism will not get out. And that's an issue as well, because now you can't replace the Prism you just lost. And he spent money and time invested into, you know, an Immortal that basically got stranded there as well. He's going to be able to get a probe across to repower this, and things settle down. Jimy about 10 supply ahead in the game. Mostly in workers, the army count is about similar. 2 upgrades each, 1-1 versus 2 armor upgrades of Jimy. Heading into his 3rd armor upgrade right now. Split, gonna go across that right side, group of Zealots. Ready for a warp in, Stalker moves up, it's gonna blink back. Just gonna charge up once again, Zealot Archon coming through, Force Field's going down. Marauder's being chased, a few of those Zealots gonna get into the mineral line here and go after some of the SCVs. Blink up, no, the Wooden Mine shot, just gonna go off. Zealots get hit once again. Jimy on a good push, and the 3rd base is lifted and running. A lot of SCVs running around everywhere, just trying to stay alive as well. Because SCVs are destined to die the way they're currently moving. And here's supply obviously plummeting as he loses a lot of his workforce that he needs to continue to promote and keep this army alive in a big way, so... that's not going to be great for Kira either. 2 full medevacs already down. GG imminent. That is going to be Jimy taking game 1. Yo, Corn76, thank you so much for the 18-month resub. As we're going to hop into game 2 here in a couple moments. Put this underway. Alright, we're in for Matt Pig and So to come in. Cool. Alright, Jimmy's a map away from qualifying. He's been playing well lately. Let's see what happens. Torch is going to be our second map. I gotta say, I'm very impressed that there's a lot of maps in this map pool right now, in this TLMC, that just don't have silly names. There's a lot of maps that are just, you know, let's go through them. Antimatter, Diffusion, Incorporeal, Killer's Mile, Kill Switch, Last Fantasy, Pylon, Sandworm, Spirit Crusher, Steam City, The Grid, Tokamak, Torches. Those are all pretty easy to say. Then we've got Maganatha, or Maganatha, whichever, and then that's really just like a debate like we had for Jagannatha. Persephone. I don't know how I'm meant to say that one, actually. That doesn't even sound right when I say it. And then, like, Salaganella. Salaganella. I'm sure that's going to be an easy one to say eventually. So Persephone's the queen of the underworld and the daughter of Zeus. Oh wow, I didn't even know that. I have no idea. Pronunciation. Persephone. Oh, Persephone. Yeah, see that even makes sense.
Persephone.
Persephone. Yeah, that's even not so bad. Amazing. I just didn't see it. Actually, if I knew it was a name, I guess it would have been a bit easy to get to. As we have game number 2 of this series coming up. Jimy in the bottom right is our green Protoss. Kira in the top right is our blue Terran. Get to game 2 of this best of 3 right now. Get this underway. Jelly Jeff gets gold. Gonna see that barracks about to finish up. Nexus coming through. Just gonna be having ourselves a setup here on Torches. This map is fun because you got the base looking normal, gold minerals potentially mine out. There's kind of a contested gold base in the center here as well. That obviously leads into this side of the map. Obviously you can expand outwards and downwards as well. Lots of potential for this map to get interesting, and these rocks will expire at about 7.5 minutes. Opens up a little bit more space to maneuver around some of those initial bases. There's also a healing shrine on the map that is far enough out the way that I don't think anyone's going to use it this week. I don't even think they're going to accidentally end up over there. I was going to come through SCV, going to get nibbled. Pro's going down. We will just continue to fight as we do get the bunker up, and Jimy having to deal with this pressure right from the very get-go already. Have to come and deal with it. Reaper just continue to ping away on the pylon, damage being done. Continue bring the Stargate through as well here from jimy. Just going to bring that online as we have a couple more Marines coming about. The Orbital Command is coming through. Add a starport onto that as well. These couple of Stalkers still just pinging their way around. Puma pops out, pops the Stalker about as well. Quadre coming into play as the Warp Gate continues online. And yeah, a couple of Stalkers going to chase that Reaper all the way around to the corner and going to be able to catch it in a moment or so. Let's get a grab, get a kill. Alright, engineering bay going to come down the corner, starport moves across the reactor, factory comes across the reactor as well. And probe pulling around down the bottom, robot bay coming up, get that started up, two Stalkers and Sentry continuing in. Racks in the engineering bay coming online as well, the factory's still going onto the reactor, so we continue to bring that up. Pop that barracks down onto the tech lab and start combat shields immediately. So we got that combat shield up and underway. The reactor about to finish up on the factory. Our refinery still building through. Phoenix is going to be annoying, but they wouldn't mind shot, which is going to bring them low on HP. Can the Viking hit the right Phoenix? It can as well. So jimy, just in general at the start of this game, feels like he's getting bullied around a little bit. But he did all of the bullying last game, so you know. Nothing wrong with Q getting his chance to bully the other game, I suppose. Just keep moving about. Colossus on the way, so Phoenix Colossus the setup here. No surprises there. Thing's gonna move about. Rain's gonna be there. Phoenix taking some damage. Rain's coming down. I'll find my mouse. We get the pylon. All Colossus gather up together. Going to be seeing that Phoenix coming through. Just going to be seeing the Colossus coming about. Now we're going to deal with this drop at least. We get right in position there. The units on the right hand side trying to come through this gold area is not going to be successful as Q is completely mined out that space. Going to have more space soon because those rocks expire as well. 7 probes out here. This actually went better for Q than I thought it would. His Phoenix, jimy's Phoenix hurting as well, so they may struggle to stay around. Gathering, turning, like say, getting rid of some of these rocks to give some more position to move around on. Another one of mine shot hitting. The Stalker. This army escapes up the right hand side, so it's actually jimy's turn to go for a little bit of a push here at the moment. couple of force fields starts off. Those 3 Colossus are going to be the question mark. Can we get rid of them? So far, no, and the Vikings are dropping, which means the Colossus have a chance to do a lot of damage here. Water Mine's going to get shot at. We are going to get some Water Mine shots coming back over. Working on a depot right now. SCVs are pulling in. You want those Colossus to focus on units. This is important. The SCV pull obviously suggests that Cure is really desperate to hold this off. Stalker's going to do their thing on the Vikings. The Prism is going to take damage though, so we lose the Warp In. I think losing the Warp In is rough because now these Colossus are on their own. They're going to try and recall. That's not going to be successful. They're all going to go down. That was a bad choice of recall, I think. He gets 1 out alive. Jimy lost a lot. The SCV pull was spot on by Cure. And Cure is going to overrun. And he actually felt as though Jimy had a chance there, but I think he had to bring the Prism further back. I understand you're trying to use the Prism to micro the Colossus, but can't let the Vikings get rid of the Prism like that, because then you lose the reinforcement, and that's going to be rough. At this point, over Secure just has a lot of supply, and he's got 1-1 against 0-0. You're really committed to this push previously as Jimy, and without succeeding there, not going to be able to do too much more. As our bio comes in, a couple of Zealots go down immediately. Obviously, as the Colossus begin to fall here, you're going to be in trouble. It's going to be Q taking game number 2. We're going to get a game 3 coming up. Alright, so we are going to go to a third map here of Jimy and Q in this qualifying round. Get into that in just a sec. And yeah, get into this game number 3, guys. We'll get that started off. Wait for the map pick, and we can go. Cool. So yeah, tied up. The final game coming through. After this, guys, we're going to go through. We're going to cover all the qualifying matches. It's going to do Bunny versus Trigger and Spirit versus Cure. They're both going to come through. So just letting you guys know what's up. Alright, lobby's coming in. I say it's game 3 coming up in a sec. Gonna go into diffusion. Alright, counting down. So diffusion, this one's been picked a lot actually. Obviously we're only using, so just for transparency, we're only using 7 maps today just to make it a little bit easier with it being an open event, etc. Instead of having all of the 16 finalists on you know, open. We've limited it to just 7. Just because, like I say, it's open. Usually when we have the main TLMC event, we never have players vetoing down from 16 maps anyway. We get them to veto down from 7 maps per series or something. So today we've just picked 7 to play this qualifier out with, make life a bit simpler on my side. On the player's side, it's very similar to what would happen during the main event, so that is the way things are happening. So yeah, that's the reason you'll probably see some of the maps a couple times today, rather than as much variety as you may be expecting to see from an open event. But yeah, we'll make sure all the maps get their fair share of love throughout the course of the week. We always do. So Corona Boost coming down as we get started off here and get underway. So, it's going to be seeing Proby moving forward, taking a step or two already, and moving out straight away. Going to take that watchtower. I would love to see throughout the course of this week these towers being knocked down a couple of times. I do think that changes the dynamic a lot later in the game and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see a little bit more of that. So you're not going to see every feature getting used every single time, but it'd be cool to see. Reaper steps through, Palin sets up on the far right side. We get another Reaper here. Assuming has that balance, so we'll have a bit of aggression going fairly shortly. Reaper and the Heli will step up. The Adept going to be right there. Jim gonna go back to what worked for him in game number 1, it seems. Oh, and you Reaper in the Heli get turned around. I'm gonna have a drop arriving over here, so Jimmy has to deal with this. Put some units into defending. Wouldn't mind gonna go off on the Adept and get a probe as well. We can save that Wouldn't mind, so he's gonna be able to come back again with that. Now the DT is gonna be set to go very shortly. Once again, the bunker coming up at the front. And the Raven already out. The preparation there from Cure looking as though he's gonna be alright with this. GT shows up, like I said, there's a Raven, so you don't even have to really utilize scans. And there's also no Prism this time around compared to game 1, so there's not a really easy access point or way to get out. Do not have the DPS to take down Morphing Archon on the recall. He had 7 SCVs, which is really not bad, all things considered, I would say. Really wasn't so bad considering your opponent already had a Raven up. I'm gonna now have the here's the cycle coming over though, and that gateway will be lost. And that dog shrine goes down. The Prism going to move out on the map. The Adept coming over as well. Going to step across. I'm just going to take that watchtower. Jimmy's dropping off. Go gets them. Medevac goes down. A couple of those probes are getting picked away at as well. Bit of a chaotic game. We got a few SCVs with the Archon drop at the same time, so Jimmy gets to come back across with those and get to work. Storming the charge coming up as we speak. Storm's about to finish up on that Temple Archives. We do see the Cyclone coming back over. Still positioned to try and protect the main base. Wants to try and stop that Jumi pressure coming through. Bringing a Bane Bioforce through the center here for a couple of moments. We're going to have our Mortal, our armor upgrade coming up as we speak. It's good feedback hitting the Raven immediately. Now the Zod's going to charge on up. A couple of those Marines going to get followed. Good storms. Great pushback from Jumi. Gets a medevac there at the end as well. Great pushback from Fujimi, absolutely just steps up in that moment and shoves that straight away. Marines, medevacs come over, the army here from Jumi's going to step up, that Cyclone goes down. So Jumi pushing, wants to take advantage of the fact that he's got storms available at the moment and see what he can do. A little bit of a free split here from Q. Going to stim, deal with these first few Zealots. The High Templars are trailing behind. Prism was low, so we got to get all those High Templars out of there ASAP. Prism will go down, no warpins allowed. And now you've got the danger of being chased down. This army is a slow moving one. And so getting back home is going to be a long, arduous effort. And I think Jumi might have overstepped himself. Didn't see the recall to get out. We lost an Archon that was recalling. A couple of those Zealots taking damage and beginning to go down. Reset a little bit. Bio medevacs continue through. Medevacs will head down to the bottom left. The Bio, the Wooden Mines join up. The Viking going to be right there. More medevacs through the top, the Bio and the mines through the center as well. Coming right across the map as we get rid of a probe, and there we go. Some Zealots are going to charge on up. We get rid of a couple of Widow mines initially as well. Just going to be seeing the Vikings still stepping through. And the Storm comes down. A couple of those medevacs already getting grabbed. Zealots continue to chase. Marine Marauder getting hunted down too. I mean, Kira has himself a runaway opportunity right now. Next is set on the top left. The Mortals are going to step through. The couple Widow Mines will get burrowed up. I'm going to just chunk through one, chunk through two. So both of those will go down. Widow Mines fall already. The army back around into the center again as the Zealots continue to charge up. Jimy going to step into this third base. EMP dropping, Ghost taking damage. The Bio going to get there to clean up in the end now. The rest of this Bio pulling back as well. It just feels as though at this point Jimy's struggling to take fights. He's up a base still. I mean, I think a lot of this game looks okay for Jimy, but struggling to take some of the fights, struggling to get away from fights he commits to. Gonna get tougher as the ghost count gets higher, of course, from Cures. Server gets found, the Viking will get that kill. A few Zealots just kind of donate themselves. Not enough units here. Now, you know, not enough Zealot buffer to kind of go charging into a fight at the moment is the issue. So we're missing out on a little bit of our power there. This CC lifts off and moves off to the edges. Here it gets the fourth base starting to establish here as well, so we get that underway. And the Colossus coming up, and a Thermal Lance and +1 attack coming through. Nexus on this forward base, that's Jimy's fifth base coming online. He's attacking top side, but there's a bunker there that's going to do a lot of work for you and put you in keep you in a good position. Light Tempest is going to unload, so, I mean, Jimy immediately onto this fourth of Cure, but it's about to be a planetary. Can we get rid of it before it finishes morphing? It's going to start dealing some damage now. Good storms, but out of storm energy now, though, some of the EMPs hitting. We do get rid of the base. If you can find a way to back away, now would be perhaps honestly a good time to do it. You got rid of a base, you're already in a good position from that. Prism is living here, giving us a chance, and the Immortals, I tell you what, are doing some work on the ground as well, but we are not going to get away with anything. Cure does lose 34 SCVs during this as Zealots hit that third base. They ransacked the Cure, was too busy to go and protect those units. Fire gets another cleanup. Army still coming over the left-hand side. +2 armor coming up on the engineering bay, and armory being added on as well. Get rid of his Zealot. Now the rest of this Bio is still stepping through. A couple probes dropping. Again, Zealots are chasing upwards. The Disruptors are firing through. High Templars trying to get there as well as Cure is getting pushed back. Ghosts are dying. The Zealots are doing their job of tanking at the front, dealing with some of the units coming from the other side as well. Cure does not have a lot left. Can we protect these Disruptors? So far it looks as though yes we can. The Medevac's dying as well. Cure's supply is at 70 and Jimy is going to qualify with the 2-1 victory into the Team Liquid Map contest. Good on him. Good on him. As he is able to come through and beat Cure. Cure is no slouch at all in this matchup as well, so that's a very impressive result. Jimy will get the qualification spot. Alright. We are going to go into the other two best of threes, guys. Give me a second. Sort this out. Let's do Bunny versus Trigger next. Yeah, let's go into Bunny versus Trigger. Let's do it. Okay, Rodin, thank you so much for the 2-year resub. Welcome back. Okay, I'm just gonna go grab a drink, guys, actually, so I'll be back in a sec. We'll just run this break. I'll see you in a few for Bunny vs. Trigger. We'll be up. Alrighty guys, welcome back. We're gonna go into Bunny vs. Trigger. We're doing all the qualifying matches today. Which is only 4 best of 3s, but, you know. Still gonna do all 4. Alright, let's hop in. As we start off in the bottom right side of Last Fantasy with the blue Protoss player from Basilisk. It is Trigger taking on the red Terran. On the bottom left, we've got Bunny. Alright, game 1 of this best of 3. We get this underway on Last Fantasy and we see what Trigger and Bunny gonna get up to. So far, 2 Bros players qualified. Jimy and Skillous can trigger be a third. We've got Spirit Fist Creator coming up after this as well. So that is all still coming. Purple's back into the main base. We get back over here. CC, Arax, Refinery all coming online. The Reaper and the Orbital will start up as well. Cyber Core coming up. The Assimilator being built. The Nexus is about halfway done. Got another pylon down there as well. Still got the Assimilator building on through. As the Probe pulls back over in this Assimilator. Got jumped into. A few workers just going to get straight in there. Reaper will hop. Step on up. It's going to be a couple of shots coming through. The Probe's already taking damage. The Sentry stepping over. Reaper will take a few more shots again as we continue to hit that Sentry. Pull back down to the low ground. Reaper jumps into the bunker. Drop the battery onto this natural. The Reaper step up one more time. A couple of shots. And again, the Sentry getting pushed back. Stalker as well. Reaper hops back into the bunker again now. And we just have a little bit of pressure here from Bunny's just causing chaos here at the start of our 3-player map. Pop the Guardian Shield. We got the grenade off. The Probe's coming into mine. Should be fine. We're moments away from the battery as well. Bunny just trying to get as much done from this as he possibly can. At this point, you're maybe going to hop out, drop another grenade, run the Reaper away if possible. Yeah, runs into the main base. The automatic attempt to salvage, right, which is just such a habit more than anything else. You know, obviously salvaging is never going to do anything there because it gets cancelled on damage nowadays. But the old habits die hard, right? And that is a habitual kind of like, you get the Reaper out, you instantly start to salvage it, but yeah, obviously will never go off in this case. Unless maybe everything tried to chase the Reaper. Maybe in that situation, maybe there's a way the salvage does succeed. But that would be pretty much it. Pretty much the only way. Two more barracks building, the engineering bay coming through. Marines and STVs producing on by as well. As Reaper hops up that upper right hand side, Hallucination gonna come poking in. Both of those gonna find the medevac here and start to chase that down. Obviously just lets you know where this is at any point in time, which is very good for you as well. And we just about get over to the side. Watch this Hallucination do nothing towards it for a little while. And the medevac was there. The Reaper gonna try and be an annoyance as well. Up and about, obviously the medevac will wait. It's kind of awkward, there's not a lot of dead airspace here. The medevac does find a way around, so it is going to get an opportunity to drop somewhere. Actually going to find some probes transferring over. That's going to be just the one. Good response trigger does notice it. As we now drop a couple more water mines into place. Can they reach those probes? No. And the Stalker Blink is good. 4 workers die in total as the Reaper is still causing chaos. Still causing some trouble. +1 in charge on the way up as well. Just get rid of the medevac. Doesn't feel like mine should get much more opportunity to medevacs load up. Actually gonna be a bad moment because the stalkers are right there. Have to take a second to take a step away. Bioforce will chase up. Sentry will go down. Stalker's still getting pushed back out into the middle of the map currently. Zealots melt away. Widowmine gets taken down. This trigger is going to get chased about. Do not love that this Bioforce gets up here so quickly. Zealots are slow. They are not going with charge just yet. There's just Stalkers that are backed into a corner. It's never a great situation. I think it's fair to say that this is going to be a little bit too much Bunny. And he's going to hop himself up into a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 qualifying matchup against Trigger. So Bunny takes the first game. We'll get into our next one in just a few moments, which is going to be on Killer's Miles. This is actually going to be Trigger's map pick. I'll lose a map pick. Here's the situation here. So I'll get that sorted and ready to go in a second. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, I was just waiting 30 seconds or so for some ads, but I think we're good to go. Get into it as soon as my game wants to take us in game. In the top right down a map, our blue Protoss player is Trigger. Picking on our red Terran. In the bottom left, we've got Bunny. I guess still just gonna see our probe heading down. We're gonna nibble. STV can take some shots. We'll have ourselves a Nexus coming through, and obviously the factory to put some pressure on as Bunny in the first place. See where that takes us. Reactor comes up, factory coming through. And like I say, the Nexus probe, adaptable gate, but everything on the way. Get ourselves up down. escapes down the right side. Just gonna loop about, try and go elsewhere. Goes down. We'll just chase the Adept for a couple of moments. Now we've got our starport coming about. Again, Widowmine coming up. CC building on the natural. Yeah, Twilight Council about to finish up. Couple of Adepts gonna step through again. The Medevac, Heli, and Marines coming across. Couple of Adepts coming through again. The Blink coming up. Stalker and the Wall Gate coming online. The Blink will Chrono Boost. And the Hellion of Bunny heads towards the upper right. Marines Limited Mine is going to get off over here. Let's see, Widow Mine coming through. Just going to fire up into the assimilators. Doesn't even hit anything, unfortunately. But he tries to save it. It's risky because it takes the extra shot in the medevac. Let's get down the bottom side. The Adept's going to be there. And try and get a little bit of a wall set up. Let's try and make it a little bit more difficult for Trigger to attack on through the Raven. Comes up and around the top. Turn around, drop down a little order turrets. Couple of throws will begin to drop there as well. 2, 3 workers going down already. The Adept and the Stalk are going to be there to play cleanup. The Stalk is still heading down the bottom left side. Yo, just dead. Thank you so much for the 47 months resub on the Prime as well. It's so funny the Raven is like behind the the building. I don't know if we've ever had like background. I don't know if I've ever really seen something that looks like quite like that. GC Monster Energy sat there as well. Yes, we've had trees and stuff before that the units would like fly through, but like actually being like behind buildings or looking like they're behind buildings is kind of wild, no? Can you imagine this was back before we had unit outlines behind structures? This little like red outline of the unit there never used to be a thing. We actually had widow mines in the game that would be able to hide behind a refinery, and even if you had vision of it, you wouldn't be able to see it. Yeah, hiding your widow mines behind buildings was a big thing for a while. Double drop at the right side of Bunny. The body will move around. Drop gets straight in. Gonna get rid of the battery. Zealot warping. Is that gonna be good enough? I'd say just better than I thought. I thought it was gonna do nothing at all, but it turns out to be okay. Seven SCVs go down in the meantime, unfortunately, as Prism is into the main base again. He'll be able to sit in that back corner. Low on HP, but not dead just yet. Go back in. Stalker's going to get there. The Medivacs will just get cleaned out, so it's going to be a pretty easy cleanup as the Zealots continue through. The Marines will continue to drop. We did get 6 more probes, though. Only focusing on target firing there as Prism tries to come in, but that single Marine does its job and pushes the Prism straight back again. Drop down the scan, still got the Zealots, Stalkers. Maneuvering, we get rid of one Stalker, trying to find a second. Army will finish very shortly, a couple of Vikings on the way. Prism kind of flies in, but not going to be able to do too much. We scan up over here. Stalker moves around. A few Zealots going to get around the other side as well. Going to get a Widow Mine, make it 2. +2 attack. Our next turn, the Thermal Lance continue to come around. And then have that Raven. So up on the top side. 8 more Stalkers coming up again. The +2 Thermal Lance on the way. The Zealots in the center are going to get up top. A few Zealots going to head down the bottom. So the Widow Mine shot as the other couple of Widow Mines get set. Comfortable cleanup for the bio there. Gets rid of a few Zealots, no problem at all. Marine Marauder Medivac still coming through. Add a couple of Widow Mines onto that. +2 attack as part of this. Again, extending Thermal Lance, finishing very shortly as now this army of Bunny still works through the bottom side of the map. What am I going to go off? Hit that Zealot. Now the rest of the Zealot's going to come charging forward. We have a few SCVs, but we don't save a single Zealot, and I guess the Prism will sit back and wait for its next opportunity. 4th base is moving up. We're going to get right to the middle of the map here. There's a Nexus top left-hand side starting to be built up as well, so we get that straight into position. Finish the +2 attack on both sides, and upgrades will be pretty similar. The +2 is a bit ahead of Bunny, but not by much. For the Chrono Burst, it might even be favorable to trigger on those upgrades at some point here. Yeah, and those Disruptors are definitely looking for a much later stage of this game. The MP's down already, and let's disrupt the shot. Clips the edge of the Marauders. The Vikings giving good chase, and the Colossus will drop. And the Scabbard Trigger is already ending up on this kind of basically just disrupt a gateway army. Happens in a lot of TVPs where you're kind of reduced down to these units because they're the units that are easier to keep alive in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like if you end up there too early in the game, it can be very difficult to trade well enough with this army throughout. Double drop here might just about... yeah, actually gets past without being seen by the Prism. That said, obviously the Prism gets by 2. He's going to fly through missile turrets if he wants to get into the base. Yeah, that's going to die before it does anything. Great defense from Bunny. Wants to prioritize making sure that nothing comes of Prism play. Good sense there in this mineral line as well, gives you a bit of vision through the center. And we have got this move in the top left-hand side now coming in, and Simulator goes down immediately. We're going to force a recall here. That obviously means that Bunny will back away instantly, man. It's not even that many units, but with the cannon and a battery, it's enough to scare. And obviously, Bunny doesn't know what's about to show up there anyway, right? So he decides to back away straight away, but it was actually a very responsible recall from Trigger. It was enough that I actually think it would have been fine, but it wasn't so much that he's going to get punished elsewhere for having an overly sizable recall in the top left corner of the map. Suddenly 21 SCVs go down, and Bunny takes an absolute beating on the economy, dropping down to 46 workers. Unfortunately for Trigger, he donates some units from the upper left, and now that recall used previously is going to be on cooldown, and the units moved away. There were some of the disruptors and units that came from the top left that we just saw dying, and we actually are going to be able to get the Nexus in the end, so that was a good shutdown. The pylon stops the warp in. The warp in units now have to come from the far right, but that difference in timing is all the difference. Stalkers trying to get through, Midivacs getting jumped on. The rest of this army from Trigger back up toward the top. A couple more CCs continue into play. Army gathers, just going to be seeing the little bit of harass going back to the front again. This time we're going to get that cleaned up. Still Trigger kind of poisoned himself through the center. Top left, I'm going to go up to some SCVs. Where it sets up, a couple of libs setting up. Disruptors obviously going to be very good at zoning here. Only a couple of SCVs going down though. The army comes about back down to the center. Liverez will get set up. That's going to make it very difficult for Trigger to push into any of these positions. As the army gets back. Bunny just shown us the very defendable setup that Killer Smile gives a Terran, especially this forward base being so holdable. All in the high ground too, right? So you've got to go up ramps to attack into this, makes it very difficult. Shot firing, Liberator is still setting up, chasing the rest of this army away for the moment. Pull back around into the center, a couple of Widow Mines will set up as well. Another disruptor shot that does not quite get as far as it needs to. Go. A couple of disruptor shots. And land on some ghosts. Widow Mines getting a lot done. Liberator shot still delivering as well. Making this hold decent for now. A couple of Libs going to get to the top left side. Stalker's going to go. Get rid of the Lib. Big medevac load up going to go around the left-hand side. Stalker connects, Stalker's going to get through. At the same time, the Stalker on the left side going to try and take position as well a little bit to see what they can do as well. More libs is coming through. Stalker's going to get hit. He's going to see the rest of those libs coming back around. It's going to be seeing the libs coming over. So Stalker getting down to the center. And away we go. It's going to see the rest of these libs getting sieged. Disruptor shot. What am I going to get? Whacked. Double DT's trying to chase this army down, but that's an easy scan to clean those up. Drenker is obviously pretty comfortable on the far right side of the map. I would not hate seeing him take this base as well, just because that's a location which Bunny has shown no interest in right now, so you can just get away with that. This nuke! This nuke! Oh my god, we're going to just about get away. We cannot lose anything really in the end. GT swiping on a refinery, some little bits and pieces going on, but Bunny's position is really holding strong for now. Up siege up again, just going to be seeing the EMPs available. Also going to hit there, a couple of those SCVs going around the libs. Going to shoot Vikings as well. Skillous going to take some damage. Just going to see those Liberators sieging up all those Stalkers. The Stalkers dropping, just going to be having ourselves that push back down the bottom side. That was a charge in. If your SCV is going to pull in to try and repair up the planetary. Planetary Fortress is right there, pushing that back. A few probes going down on the other side. As this is where Bunny is putting some attention now. A couple of EMPs come down, the Zealot's getting hit. And continue to pull back here, a couple of libs setting up as well. And a couple of CCs, refineries coming up, the libs continue to come into play. Another Disruptor shot trying to get up that ramp, doesn't quite happen. Another Disruptor shot trying to come through. We do get rid of this base on the left side, so that's going to be a little bit of a bonus here. EMP's coming down, a couple of Zealots getting whacked. The Bioforce will clean up those last few Zealots as well. We do still have Trigger chasing forwards. I don't love this chase into the 5 Liberators though. I mean, you're just losing so many units so quickly. He warps 15 new Stalkers in. How many libs are on the map? 9? Only 4 Disruptors left from Trigger at this point. Trigger's still really trying to brute force this as well. Bunny only has 37 workers, which means he doesn't have a lot of income, but the army he has is massive still, especially compared to his opponent at the moment. It's a lot of DTs that we just walked in from Trigger. Good way to spend some of your money, but it's also very risky because if you lose those DTs, your army's going to stay forever weak because you're spending the money that you do have. You know, a big investment basically into these DTs. This could have been maybe some better tech units for the army. DTs move up. They get absolutely obliterated. Yeah, okay, that was just horrendous. That was a horrible trade for Trigger. And now he's less than half the army supply of his opponent, so this is a major issue. Trying to push around on the left-hand side, but again, anywhere you get into that there's an actual Terran army, you're just going to have to back away. Like, Trigger cannot commit to these fights at all. So that leaves you in a very, very difficult position. We've got Stalker Disruptor moving back around the center, and another couple of Liberators will get sieged. We have a push up the right-hand side now. Double EMP, we're just going to take this base down. This base really was very safe. I mean, for a long time, Bunny did not touch this. 25 minutes, I think it's the first time Bunny's ended up there. I think Trigger could have taken that a little bit sooner, perhaps. Anyways, as it stands, Trigger's just, like, in a bit of trouble. I wonder if Trigger had Bunny so contained that maybe he should have just taken the tech route, you know? Start a Stargate, start a Fleet Beacon. Get some Tempest up, because Bunny really set up extremely defensively. I think this is one of those scenarios where moving into the Tempest and chipping away at the Liberators, for example, would have been very doable as well. And more than anything else, I think it's a very achievable way of playing. You can't do it on every map because it's difficult to get to that tech, but on this map and the way that Bunny was set up and how defensive he was being, I think you can look back and definitely say that maybe that would have been a route for Trigger that could have been so much stronger. The problem is if you don't break him down with this army... I mean, he's gotten very close, because to be fair, you know, Bunny's been kind of low on mining. He's not had a lot of economy left. So he's been close. Actually, it might have even been good enough if he didn't just lose all those DTs for nothing. And they were kind of better units themselves. I'm trying to build Colossus now, but one goes down, and that's just going to slow, getting to the point where the Colossus count is going to be truly dangerous. I think Trigger put himself in a good position. I think he's just struggled to really play into a victory screen from that sort of spot. Now that Lib's going to cover this ramp and try and make it a little bit tougher again. We're 27 minutes in here. Bunny wins this game. He is qualified, by the way, for the TLMC tournament. Got more Liberator shots. Going to warn off the army. Lib's going to set up on the left-hand side. The Stalker's pulling up. I mean, to be fair, not all those Libs were siege straight away. Stalker's going to make a pretty good go at this. The Planetary Fortress is in trouble, but we are getting rid of a bunch of the Disruptors too. Now units showing up from the other side, and Trigger is going to lose everything. Some of the Libs live, the Planetary Fortress survives. Vikings are going to chase unprotected Colossus as the reinforcing Stalkers that will blink through to try and save the day, and they will push the Vikings back a moment at least. Stalker's still taking shots, the Vikings getting hit down as they go. Zealots warp in. We'll start to just fight these. As his army supply is again half that of Bunny's. Bunny on a push right now. That's going to make him look like a bit of a killer. We actually do have ourselves a disruptor shot there that worked well into the disruptors. A new disruptor gets caught on its way across to the army though, and attack units continue to bleed out. Another disruptor, a Colossus. Good EMPs. I mean, Trigger has some money, but the units he can build quickly are not the units he needs right now. The Zealots are walking to their death the moment they kind of come down a ramp. There's loads of EMPs to get rid of the shields on them. Attack units go down here, and even just the Stalkers dying is a difficult replacement. The Zealots are going to try and go catch reinforcements, which is not a bad way of doing it, but you're playing kind of a slowly progressing scenario when you don't really have time. Like, interceptor reinforcements is great in some circumstances, but we're just not in that position right now where that's going to be good enough. Fire gets up, Nexus will take hits. .26 work is going down, Stork's trying to move towards the front. On the right side, going to get back on towards this Nexus. It's going to take some damage. Disruptor trying to get involved. We are going to see the Nexus going down. Stork's going to blink in on top of this. I mean, Bunny put a lot of resources into denying this base, but that's okay. I mean, a lot of his medevac's getting stuck here. Army supply close. Trigger only really mining top left. If Bunny could get some units there and deny that mining, that would be huge. Just running here. Honestly, just the fact there's Liberators and a Planetary here is going to make this a little bit of a difficult cleanup for Trigger. Gets rid of some of the SCVs at least. More Libs showing up though, dropping the main base when Bunny starts to go through production. We'll need a scan against the Dark Templar, but Libs, well, I say it forces this army back, but this army killed the Planetary, there's not much more to do. Fire continues to go, picking through more of those structures. I mean, Bunny is not exactly the richest guy. He doesn't have a lot of SCPs. He doesn't have a ton of places to mine from, even still at this point. Trigger just says GG in the end. And Bunny is going to take the 2-0. There you go. There you go. Alright, so Bunny qualifies through. And he will be joining us in the Team Liquid Map Contest tournament. So congrats to Bunny. Which leaves us with one spot from the qualifiers today, guys. Which will be between Spirit and Creator. So Bunny gets the 2-0. Long game there. Long game. So yes. We will be heading straight into that next match, which will just be Spirit Creator. And that's our last matchup of the day, guys. It wasn't going to be a long one today. But we do have a full week of StarCraft coming up. WardiTV Mondays tomorrow, obviously. And then the days after that, we're going to have Team Liquid Map Contest tournament every single day. Alright, let me invite up. We'll get ready to go. How are you on, guys? Apologies. Alright, let's go into Last Fantasy, going to be the opening map here again, which is going to be our 3-player map one more time. I'm going to head into Spirit vs. Creator. So it's going to be a best of 3 to decide our final spot from the qualifiers. In the top left side of Last Fantasy, we have ourselves the Red Terran player Spirit. While in the bottom left-hand side, we've got ourselves the Blue Pros player Creator. So, probes popping out, and we already have a proxy down for Spirit. It's going to be 2 barracks in the middle of the map here. This is fun because obviously your opponent has a chance of scouting you incorrectly, and you are kind of between both the potential places of your opponent. Barracks down, get this set up. Barrett Tech Lab gonna finish. Marauders will be on the way. And Creator is gonna scout incorrectly initially. This is the coin flip of multiple starting locations. Rob moves up, sees there's no wall off, decides his opponent's in the top left, so we'll now go to scout. Zero Growlung, thank you so much for the 13-month resub on the Prime, my channel, because I read the name. So I'd written the bottom name in the chat, and that wasn't even the sub. Alright, Marauders popping out, and we are going to have concussive shells ready soon. Again, Creator just know about it. He's going to know maybe now. He's going to see a wall off. And it's interesting because this is actually not double proxy Marauder. We're going to see the second barracks just building Marines, so some extra damage output. Step can step through. Marine Marauder comes over, a couple of probes. We'll go down. So first one drops already. We put a bunker into place. Step up this position. See another adept popping out. Obviously we've got concussive shells, so units can't get away easily. Probes pull back. It's kind of important. The idea of the Marines is that they're going to be able to add the damage output against these probes that you don't usually have. Bunker very close to being done, and Creator immediately, I think, in some trouble as the Marauders continue to get to work. The Marines as well, doing the damage they can, but the SCV is dead, and that means that the bunker will not finish. The probe surround, therefore, is very good, and Creator is going to find a defense. Yo, Game Sully, thank you so much for the 4-month resub as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting. Stalker just gonna ping. Bunker will be taking damage. Out in the center, a couple of racks continue to join up. Stimpack on the way through. Bunker Refinery on the way up. Warp Gate added on. This bunker will be cancelled up right there as well. Roy's gonna go chasing down the Stalker. Rex is gonna build up the reactor. Gonna recall the Stalker. And this proxy is still going as we get a reactor on the barracks. And get that set up already. While Council's about to finish up, we will see our bio still gathering. Gonna move down towards the bottom left. Hallucination gonna be scouting here just to see what's up. This he starts to fight, and obviously now have that stim pack available. You have a lot of DPS on this. We dive for the Stalkers, gonna focus those. Dark Shrike coming up though from Creator could make this interesting on the next step of it all. Marauders and the Marines will get rid of the Adept, get rid of the Probe, get onto the next Adept as well. Creators continue to hang on in there. Now the Adept is gonna get taken down. Is trying to focus on some of the Marines there, it felt like. I'll try and tank those Marines. Stalker's trying to play catch up here. Problem for Spirit is apparently the factory's flown across here too. I've got no idea what we're doing that for, but okay. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Spirit, this is his bioproduction, so if he loses all these units, the medevacts that are popping out aren't going to have much use. Running the Marina around the acceleration zone. Stalker's coming back through the acceleration zones as well, but do we have enough firepower? Get rid of Marauder, focus on Marines for a moment. A Zealot is here as well. It looks like it's on 2 times speed with the units just running around so quickly, but it does look as though Creator is going to get the defense against this. And like I say, now we've got medevac showing up. That's a very hopeful recall. It's not going to succeed. But yeah, we've got medevac showing up, but there's no units to really do anything with those medevacs. The Zealots will chase the Marauders down. We are getting rid of the Stalkers, which is nice, but yeah, this is not going to last forever. And the Zealots obviously can get carried for a long time, which is why the Stalkers are important. Spirit actually does have the army supply leading as he gathers a few more units up. I guess we'll see if Creator's going to have enough. The DT start to arrive. This is a 1 base from Spirit, so DTs are frustrating against someone who can't scan a lot. Might be a way to defend for Creator as well, utilizing the DTs here. Just don't have the range damage to actually deal with these Marauders. The Stalkers can't seem to get in range for long enough. They keep going down. Here come the DTs. We've lost access to the panel. The scan against both DTs forces the Archon morph. It looks as though Spirit is going to have enough of this attack in the end. Man, absolutely ridiculous game, all in all. The Zealots go down. The Probe is trying to pull in, but they're going to get shot at and shut down. GG is called, and Spirit is going to take the first game of this best of 3. GG. GG. Our second map here will belong to the map pick of Creator, who chooses Diffusion. This map's being picked a lot. Let's see what we get. That's kind of a wild game. Will there still be a Wardy open tomorrow? Yes. Oh yeah, it's March, right? Yeah, there'll be there should be March Cups, yes. Yeah, I kind of been out of my own loop lately. Yeah, there'll be March Cups. I just need to yeah, it'll happen. Alright. Let's jump into Diffusion. And number 2. No clue what just happened. Yeah, I think Spirit just, because he constantly got rid of the Stalkers, Creator had to warp in Zealots to kind of have that bulky front line. But because he kept losing the Stalkers anyway, he never got enough Stalkers up to really deal damage, and so the Zealots just got kited. And so Spirit was just able to net himself enough of an advantage there. Obviously kind of funny then that it happens in the speed zones too, because then everything looks as though it's going 2 times as fast. That's why speed zones were always very fun. Is kind of watching stuff fly through the speed zones is it's a very novel experience watching it. It's probably quite fun to play with the first few times as well. Definitely pretty. Predator in the top right, Spirit in the bottom left. We get to game 2 of this best of 3. We'll have SCVs into the refinery here. We'll have our probe of Predator heading down toward the bottom left. We get some scouting done. It's 2 racks in base this time from Spirit, so a little bit of a different approach here. I'm just gonna get that probe, gonna get chased. Color of Reapers just coming up. Stalker in the warp gate coming online. Next is building up on the natural. Reapers just gonna step across. And next is finished up here. Robot facility coming through. There's a couple of Reapers just gonna step about. Still gonna shoot. And the Robo building about. Reapers coming down around that right hand side. Shots as the Reapers just trying to poke about. Obviously not too much coming out of this 2 racks opener. Have you seen them trying to move into the natural? Immortal coming about. Immortal obviously gives you a little bit of safety, especially if someone's opened a little bit more aggressively, and the 2 racks is kind of that. So it gives you a little bit of an easier time here. Skillous gonna shoot. Reaper gonna take some damage, so it takes a couple of shots. Going back the other way. And do have ourselves the blink starting up again. Medevac Marine, Widow Mine coming on through. Stalker's gonna get approved to the Reaper. This nation just steps down the bottom. This nation moves about. A few stalkers are going to step down toward the bottom left. that blink coming up very soon. Robo Bay coming about. Here comes the Widowmine drop, already hitting the natural. Gonna get rid of one probe over here. Oh, good retargeting. Gets 3 workers. Main base, it will just be the one, but we will unburrow and reburrow for a little bit. One attack, combat shield coming through. This Bioforce's spirit will begin to step forward. The observer right there. Gonna get jumped on. It's a nice scan. We take that out. The big Bioforce, the Widowmine comes back in. It's gonna get a probe at least before it goes down. If we have anything in position here, Stalkers are nearby, the Colossus is nearby. I think we should be okay. As Creator. Colossus is actually going to get jumped on a little bit, taking some damage. Battery doing some work. The Medivacs, they load up and they pull away. We lose one of them though. Spirit actually loses quite a lot towards the end. Gather as the other medevac coming across. Let's see if these will move over toward the third base. Gathers over coming through. We got that missile turret put in place. Stalkers coming up around the top. A few more Zealots going to go join up over there as well. That's the Colossus gather up. Darkshrine coming through. The Prism, the Charge. That's one Thermal Lance all building in right now. Knock ourselves through some rocks, so open up some space. A few Zealots warp in this army. Stepping down toward the bottom left-hand side, we will see a couple of units over here going to move about. That Stalker can get chased, getting jumped on already. Focus there for a couple of Marauders. Step on through, got shield pops up, the Zealot's going to charge in, Widowmines going to connect. You see his Restalkers hitting a few of those Vikings. Force Field's on the ramp as well, ready to grab a few more units for free, utilizing the range of that Colossus and the splash damage they can provide. Army steps up. A few Stalkers going to come about, disrupting the Zealots coming over as well to the upper right side. The Sens, the couple Zealots are going to come across the bio, and the Vikings going to join up. He's going to go grab those. The Lions will burrow up. That's going to be seen. Our unit's still 7-4. Disrupt the shots. It's going to go after a couple of those Widow Mines. The Vikings going to get going. Will chase. Another Widow Mine shot trying to go off. Disruptor shot still getting hit. The Army pulling back up the left side. We have Zealots whacking their way through mineral line over here as well. He's going to chase the Immortal Disruptor, going to get hunted down. I don't think that Disruptor's ever going to connect. So Kraid has to get out of there after a good push through. And a lot of SCVs killed. Kraid does lose a few units in trying to get away. Fire still moving across. Again, Shadow Strike coming up. We've got Zealots on the way. DT's on the way. Add a Colossus into this as well. Disruptor shot. Oh, it stopped short, no? Gonna get rid of this base, gonna get 14 pros with it. Army on the other side of the map. Our Pros player is gonna make a move right now as well. Into the main base we go to enter a little bit of a base trade situation. Stalkers, DTs. Trying to be brought in. We're getting rid of the DT nice and easily. Disruptor shot is good on a lot of that bio. Stalkers over here slowly making their way into the natural expansion. Some of this bio has to pull away towards the bottom right side. Gets rid of the Archon. Medevac saved some units from the main base. I think what's very impressive is obviously you didn't lose too many structures or anything as creator. So your production is still very much so there. Spirit is trailing heavily supply-wise as he comes back into the main. Again, the Zealots were just there in position already. Army's moving about again, a couple of DTs, the Colossus, the +2 army coming around. The army on the top right settles in as well. Top side, couple of Medevac's going to hang about. The army of Creator to the left going to move over. Zealots, Archons, Colossus, and Disruptors. Stalker's going to get there, knock down the Widow Mine bio up on the top. Going to get the cannon, going to aim for the pylon. Fortunately, the warping already went off, and the DTs are getting to work. This little drop of Spirit or run by a Spirit is not going to stick around too long. He's actually dropping more units off here, but the DT dealing with it instantly. Now that pylon over on the right, the Zelda going to come charging through, but we do get rid of the Nexus, so Spirit is able to knock Creator down to 4 bases that are very far apart from each other. Of course, Spirits on 4 bases are a little bit closer together, so a bit easier to hold on to in general. Potentially gives you more opportunity here. I'm moving down. What am I? Sets up. Still playing back away from it. Once again, Crit on the offensive, and he's got some disruptors of his own. Love that he's kept the Colossus up through this as well. He's had to rebuild these, but I like it because right now it puts so much more pressure in this army compared to just the Zealot Stalker disruptor like we saw in the previous game. Lots coming over, just going to be seeing the bio getting over there. You're not going to be seeing the rest of this army coming through. Guardian Shield setting up. Medevac's going to drop into the bottom right hand side. Down to the bottom, 4 more Vikings on the way up. Marine Marauder coming through, had a refinery on. Plus 3 armor, Gravitic boosters. Oh, Gravitic drive, sorry. The prison speed upgrade coming online. It's another disruptor shot that flies a little bit short, and another one that's going to do the same thing. Spirit will try and turn back onto this as Creator looks to try and tie this series up 1-1. The Viking steps straight through. One Colossus goes down. Now we're going to find another Colossus here right away. That's going to go down. Another Colossus is going to fall. I mean, honestly, good effort by Spirit. Takes honestly a better fight for himself, and I thought he's going to lose a lot of Vikings here, though, as he chases. And that means that he will not get any more Colossus, which, with 2 Colossus still up and about, probably is going to be good enough for the moment. Colossus step through again. No, the Disruptor shot not quite going to land just yet. Get into the center. Creator will step forward. Hold on command. I'm going to get lifted off. Going to go down immediately as a couple of SCVs keep on dropping. Turn left, moving straight through. Depot's going to get jumped on. Another one of my shot is going to land on the Zealots. Depots get broken into. The Zealots going to get busy. Colossus as well. Spirit just says GG. He's going to lose his production. He can't rebuild out of this one anymore. That means we are going to go to a game 3. So we're going to get a deciding map between Creator and Spirit here to decide who qualifies. Get into this in a moment. Game 3 coming up in a sec, guys. Let's get this underway. Alright, gonna be Pylon for our deciding map. We'll give it a minute for some ads, guys, and we'll go into this Pylon map of the day. Alright. Kick off in the game number 3. Get this going. See what happens on Pylon for our final map of the day. Any maps that we didn't see today out of the 7 that were allowed? I think we didn't see Spirit Crusher or Kill Switch. Well, obviously, through the week, we see all of the maps in the TLMC, so that'll be fun as we get ready to go. Into game number 3 of this best of 3. In the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player here is going to be Spirit. Well, in at the top left, our blue Protoss is Creator. We're heading down the map. Just gonna go scout about for a few moments. Check to see what's going on. Engineering bay block is going to make it a little bit rough for Creator, but we do deal with it pretty quickly. Probes come down very speedily there, and that's going to mean that we can get straight onto that engineering bay. Means you won't have to put the nexus out of position or so, which is sometimes a little bit difficult for you if you have to do that. Something Terran can take advantage of. As the engineering bay cancels, the SCV heads home. The command center comes up with the natural here from Spirit. Let's follow the SCV back across the map for a few more moments as it gets back to the other side. Going to be used to put the factory into place, so that will be our next protocol. Just get the factory up and online, get that going. And you have a Reaper, which is obviously going to poke around, could be used for some information as well as a little bit of that early pressure, so we'll try for a little bit of that right here. Reaper being chased and is going to get taken out as it will fall. Twilight Council on the way up. Factory. It's going to produce a Hellion and the orbital command coming through from Spirit as well. We'll begin to get that underway. Have our probe heading down toward the bottom right hand side. Again, the blink upgrade is going to start up on the side of Creator, so we get that underway, we get that started. The warp gate coming through. Add a couple of Marines on for good measure as well. Couple of adepts will threaten at the front. We'll see if they can get anywhere in particular, see if they can see any success. We get chased away by the Marine Hellion in the end, so just going to be seeing that adept getting pushed back up the right hand side. Robot facility and 2 more gateways allows us to really build into this blink play full-heartedly. Units just gathered together, the medevac coming through, a couple of Widow Mines inside will allow this medevac to head in toward the main base over the next few moments, so we get that set up right from the get-go here. not going to do too much. We have the Hellion and the Natural at the same time. May actually get a couple of probes. Yes, it will. With the mine on burrows and reburrows, which just goes to a probe in the end. Missed targets on the Hellion. Could have had 5 workers, but gets 4. Not a bad start, though, early on. Stalker's just going to come back through. Engineering base setting up. Marine's going to get back to the bunker. Scepter's still going to move straight by. The Stalker's going to ping. Depot will fall. Means we'll step toward the front here. I'm just going to be seeing the SCV spawn straight in. He's going to fight. Stalker's taking damage. The Adept getting pushed to the side. Stimpack on the way up. Going into the main base. Tank is already right there. Stimpack is taking some damage. We're actually going to lose the Stim. It's going to be a rough point of call for Spirit. He'll have to... He should really cancel Combat Shield and start Stim there. Stim takes longer to finish and it's more important in general. Prison gathers. The Raven goes up to the top. Torres just dropped straight on in. We're going to get rid of 2 probes right off the bat. Another few probes taking shots right there. Got 3 workers, 2 workers. Assault's going to shoot it. A couple of those SCVs are still going down as well. Refinery still taking some damage. We blink back further away. +1 attack and charge. A building as we speak. Add a Robo Bay onto that as well. That's where Corrado is taking this game to. There's a Adept going to try and shade through the Natural. Nice auto gets rid of that probe. A couple of High Templars trying to get across. The Raven still right there. The Stalker's going to try and position themselves, deal with the Vikings on that right-hand side. Orbital will step up. Bio coming through. Stalker getting chased. Just going to have the Observer still right there. We throw up a bunch of those Widow Mines and again the tanks take position. Orbital landing straight away. We dropped a couple of mules down here. And the +1, the Storm continue to come up for the moment. Get that Corona Boost working, we keep those upgrades coming in. Very important, more than likely. Obviously extended Thermal Lance as well. Yeah, a bit of everything here. Storm and Colossus. Trader's army supply low at the moment, but going to be made up for by the amount of tech that's available to him. Definitely says something. Gathers still got the Stalkers making their way up the right hand side, so away they go. Gathering up right now. There's a Raven right there from Spirit as well, just sat between the bases. Widow Mines in front of a few tanks, going to call down a mule, drop that into the 3rd base. And the few ghosts coming about, the Medivacs, Armory Engineering Bay coming through, add a couple depots on as well. You've seen the 2-1 upgrades continue to come on the line as the Zealot makes its way around the right. Couple of shots coming through. What's gonna fire? Again, tanks doing a decent job so far holding this right hand side. Interesting position on this watchtower here. Choked up area makes this a pretty cool point of contention. CC going to try and drop in a position there. The Marines and Marauders going to stim across. That's going to get the Sense Tower to cancel up. Fire coming through. The Vikings going to move about. And Dark Shrine about halfway done. We're slowly about to finish. Extra gates coming through out of next one as well. Yeah, the ship weapons on the way, so we are going to get more of an answer up in the sky. The Fusion Core coming down to Spirit. Getting ready to prep up into the later stage defensive liberators. And going from there. Everyone just sits up in between. Torch is going to fly. Panel will take some damage. You see the bio coming down the bottom. What am I shot? Going to hit Stalker. A couple of Zelds getting picked. TMP's going down. Spirit stepping out on the map. Definitely some interesting possibilities right there. What might happen? Bunker goes down on the right side, not a big deal, just going to get that rebuilt. Very difficult for Coretta to do much in terms of pushing in right now, that's why he just takes his chance to Shadow Stride. Air weapons, Fleet Beacon, I mean, I think this is more of the approach we maybe wanted to see a little bit from Trigger during the Trigger Bunny game. That turned into a long kind of camped out game. I mean, this is a very similar idea from Spirit, right? Camped out, very defensive, Sense Towers are up. Liberators are on the way to really protect these positions. The difference being... is that Creator is going to set up into that tech already, so he's going to have tech to help him fight through this fairly comfortably. I'm going to try and trade for a little bit. The damage being done as the extra gates come online, and again the preparations just continue through. Base is being established, doubled up. Nice storm to zone out a little bit here as we obviously have Critter. Actually having to hold Spirit off. I'm surprised Spirit's being as aggressive as he is. Usually Spirit just sits back and, you know, he's got the libs on the way and everything. And he's actually taking the chance to get forward. Good EMP up that ramp. Bio going to come stemming through Archon. Just going to get taken down already. EMPs go down. The Vikings going to turn onto the Colossus on the right side. One Colossus falls. Second Colossus dropping. But this army of Spirit getting completely wiped out, and Like I say, I'm just surprised. I don't know if Spirit just wanted to free up some supply to start making more Liberators. If he wanted to do that, I would imagine he would have just dropped, though. Taking a full-on stance across the map is... But it's definitely a decision, and Creator's just going to come straight through here, knocks down the Sense Tower, gets himself in position onto this orbital. Straight on through, orbital goes down. And he's going to try and step up. Archons and Stalkers put their work in. DT's going to push forward as well. Maybe seeing the S-Series continue to drop. Liberators will try and siege up. Vikings land, do their thing. And Creator's going to push straight on through. I mean, these Libs aren't stopping him. The DTs are going huge. You can't get rid of the DTs. That's always an issue, right? They out-DPS things so heavily. They're fragile, but in this case, they're just killing everything before they take any damage. And that's going to be Creator just smashing through here on Pylon to take a 2-1 victory and to qualify into the TLMC tournament. GG's. GG's. Alright guys, so Creator joins us as our final player in the out of the qualifier into the event with a 1-2 over Spirit. I've not done invites yet, guys, so I don't know who else is through just yet and stuff, or who else will make it, but we'll be doing invites now. We'll do a couple of invites based off of the these other things as well, so yes. Mostly I need to find some Zergs. What's freaking new? The Zergs missing. Yeah, it's just a constant, isn't it? So, need to find some Zergs. And, yeah, that will be our go-to, I guess. And we'll get these invites filled out and stuff. So, yeah, that's the TLMC qualifier, guys. Looking forward to seeing all of these new maps in play. Obviously, there's more maps than what you've seen today. There's a whole bunch of maps available, and we'll be going through those as the week begins. So tomorrow, WardiTV Mondays will be back once again, and then we'll be having the after WardiTV Mondays tomorrow, we'll have a full week of continued StarCraft with the TLMC every single day next week. So we'll have a stream every single day, getting back on track and getting back to it, because obviously we've been away for a little bit. So I was away a few days. Like I said, I had a couple of days holiday planned anyways, and then Friday and Saturdays just, like I said, I still wasn't feeling 100%. We didn't really have much to stream, so instead I forced myself to come on and do a whole bunch of nothing. Just took an extra day off. Played a Pokemon tournament yesterday too, so it's taking some me time for a few days, but like I say, loads of StarCraft coming up. Yeah, this week, all week, we've got TLMC, so we got the next 9 days guaranteed full of StarCraft, or 8 days. And then yeah, we actually should have stuff most of the time. Pretty much for the next week and a half. Then I'm away for a weekend, and when we come back, we're going to have a bunch of WardiTV March stuff, or maybe even another tournament that's been discussed with people. The Boomer Cup, where we don't let the youngsters play. It's all about the oldies of StarCraft 2, such as, you know, the old fellows like Harston. Give them a chance to win something for once. So I think we might be doing that as well. I need to get back to some emails and stuff, which is what I'm going to go do now. I'm going to go catch up on some admin work, guys, because I'm a few days behind. I need to make WardiTV Monday things and stuff as well, so I will go and get onto that. Does Hero just annihilate a Boomer event? Yeah, I think Hero might just annihilate the Boomer event, but, you know. Yeah. It'll still be fun, right? It'll still be fun watching the other guys scramble around for a little bit. Alright guys, if you did enjoy the stream today, like and subscribe on the YouTube. Don't forget to follow here on the Twitch channel. And I'll be back, obviously, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow for WardiTV Mondays. Actually, this wasn't even that short of a stream in the end. I thought it was going to be like super short. But we casted every single qualifying match, so we got 4 best-of-3s in. So it's actually pretty decent. We had some longer games too, so that was nice. Like I say, we'll be back tomorrow with WardiTV Mondays. I'll see you guys here for that. You guys have a great rest of your day. And so I've ads, and I'll host someone up. Spread the StarCraft love. See you guys tomorrow.